So recently there was a sale on Amazon Prime Day, and I did pick up a couple of things. One of the things that I wanted to try was this. This is the Rovivon E5, Angel Eyes E5. And in theory, it has the versatility to be a perfect EDC flashlight, in theory. I have carried it for a few days. I've thought it through a little bit, and I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on whether this is something you want to consider or skip. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Now, like we've been doing with other flashlights on this channel, we're going to grade this in 6 categories. The first of which is overall quality. How is the light? Is it everything put together correctly? And I gotta say, Rovivon always does a really good job with their build quality. And the fact that they are always coming up with something novel that we don't see elsewhere, I think just adds to the fact that it's impressive when they're able to actually accomplish what they're actually doing. So really good job here. Solid 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, the next category we need to talk about is the user interface. Now, being that it has multiple emitters, some on the side, some on the front, it's going to be a little bit different. So for starters, hold press will give you the turbo functionality, and that's using the first button on the flashlight. If you click twice, it will stay on in the last memorized mode, and then pressing one time will cycle through the 3 output settings. Now holding it will then turn it off, and then we move on to the other button. This button will actually activate the side LEDs. And so there are 2 different versions of modes for the primary white lights. There's the low and of course the high. There's also an ability to access a UV by double pressing on the button. And so this is kind of a neat feature because you can use it to do all kinds of interesting things, whether it's look at cash, make sure it's legit, check for bodily fluids in a hotel room, and of course you can use it to quickly make something glow that is already glow in the dark. So this is a great little function to build into the light, and kind of similar to the light I just showed, which is the Rovivon A5X. So very cool here. Now, the last thing on the user interface specifically I want to mention is the fact that it does have a lockout feature. So if you press the top button 4 times, it will actually lock out the flashlight. You can see that with the blinking indicator. Now to unlock it, you then press it 4 more times and then it'll function again as normal. Now, one of the most interesting things about this particular flashlight is it not only uses a built-in lithium polymer battery, it also can use a AAA battery. Now, this will greatly change the output and the run times, but it always will use just the AAA once it's installed. So I just kind of want to briefly show you what the outputs and run times are for this flashlight. Now, as you can see, there's a significant drop in output from the lithium polymer battery down to the AAA, but the versatility of this is huge, and you can use the same user interface whether you have the AAA or the lithium polymer usage. And so I really like the fact that they have created a situation where if I don't have time to charge my flashlight, I still don't lose my flashlight. And so I think this would be a very good companion to travel with because of its versatility. Overall, pretty good job. It's going to have average output and runtime when we compare it to relatively similar competitors. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 stars for both output and runtime. Now, the next category we need to talk about is versatility. And I don't know how I could rate this any less than 5 out of 5. We have side lights. We have different color emitter options that you can pick. We have UV. We have the ability to use 2 different types of fuels. The clip does in fact reverse, so you can put it on a hat if need be. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this is one of the more versatile flashlights that I have had the ability to test. And the fact that it is also compact size, yeah, it's easy to fit in the pocket as well. So really awesome job by Rovivon. Solid 5 out of 5. Last category we have to discuss is value. Now, value is obviously subjective, but when you think about how many features this thing has and the fact that it is two different types of fuels, it's going to at least have a good value rating. The question is, how do I compare it? Do I compare it to rechargeable flashlights or AAA flashlights? And I'm not exactly sure. But either way I look at it, it's very, very competitive for what it has. I don't think I can rate this less than 4 stars, even at its full price. Now, I did get it on discount during Amazon Prime Day, but they do go on sale from time to time. But even at full price, the E5 is definitely a great value for what you're getting. So I'm pretty happy with it, and I think 4 out of 5 is a great rating. For reviews like this, I'm really thankful that I have some kind of metric to grade them by. You know, if I was just going by my own preference, I probably wouldn't end up keeping this flashlight because it's not small enough to kind of be invisible, but it's not really big enough to have the output that I like. But when it comes to versatility, I mean, it's got it in spades. Between being able to use the side light basically as a hands-free option by clipping it onto a shirt collar, or, you know, being able to use both a AAA and the lithium polymer battery built into it with a USB Type-C, this is very compelling. I'm not sure it's necessarily for everyone, but having a flashlight that you know you can find power for is a big deal. And I think that this form factor versus one that is extra long, which they've done before, a combination, I think this makes way more sense. So in that regard, I really do like it. One thing that I did notice, and I just want to mention because I didn't show it in the video so far, is that this pocket clip, although it is reversible, does not seem to sit properly in the other 2 locations that it has along the side. And I'm not sure if that was meant to be like that or not, but it doesn't fully close around the body of the flashlight. So that is something to mention in the negative sense. Also, when you get this, you're going to get a small little box that includes a spare silicone cap for that USB-C port. I wish more flashlight manufacturers would do this. It's such a great thing because if you lose that, you're losing most of the waterproofing that you're getting with your flashlight. And that's a stupid reason to have to buy another flashlight, right? So every company, if you're out there, stop sending the stupid lanyards and start sending us the extra silicone insert. It's a credibility thing. And honestly, I love that Robivon does that with all of their flashlights, and it means I'm gonna get more out of it. And with their prices ranging from $20 up to, you know, as high as you want to go, because they even have Damascus versions. Yeah, it's nice that they include that even in their base models. The E5, it's solid. It's slightly, for me, it misses the mark a little bit on waterproofing. But outside that, I'm very impressed. The upgrade from Nietzsche to the Luminous SST20, I think it helps a lot. Also in the output, I definitely notice a substantial upgrade when it comes to using the AAA versus some of the other AAA flashlights that I have with the same emitter. So, or similar emitters. So really well done. Well done. I really do like the E5. And I think that somebody's going to get some great use out of this very versatile little flashlight. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon.